Hi everyone, and welcome to my video where we're going to be going over the HTML attribute of ID. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So if you watched our previous video about classes, you would know that classes are used to group certain elements of your website together to give it the same styling, or for JavaScript to be able to select those specific elements. And ID is kind of the same thing, but instead of selecting a group, what ID does, it's for an individual element. So only one element can have one ID name. So for instance, I think of ID as a unique identifier. Only one element can have one unique identifier. Now, obviously, I can type something like div, you know, something like this. We'll give it that ID, and then give it the same ID. Obviously, I can do that, but that is not what ID is for. This, if you wanted to give the same ID for a different element, that's fine, but you should really use class here if you wanted to do this. ID is a unique identifier, so you would need to do something like this, give it a different name than this. And just like in a class, you can add, certain styles to specific IDs. So let's say that you wanted to add a certain style. Well, first let's refresh our page so you can see here that I have test 1 and test 2. So let's give test, our first test style. So instead of adding the style directly into the element, we can add some inline styling here to our page in general. So to declare that you want to style an ID element, you start with a hash sign or a pound sign, and then you give it the ID, and then curly braces, and then we say the color, we want this to be white, and the background color to be black. Save that. And here you go. So you can see that this specific ID of ASDF, we gave it that style. And now let's say that we wanted to give ASDF2 color. Let's do blue, and let's do background color yellow. Save that. And you can see that this ID got this style. So another thing that you can do with IDs is HTML bookmarks. Now, I already went through this in a previous video, so if you want to know more about it, please watch that video. But just to go over it real quick, you can create a link element, and then you can tell the browser that whenever that link element is clicked, the A tag, it can jump to a specific ID, so a specific element, and you just specify the ID. So anyway, that is it for the ID introduction. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to post in the comments. Otherwise, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys all next time. Thanks. Have a good day.